You have to go to the original source document.
Well, folks, here we are in Nathan Tufts Park in beautiful Somerville, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston, and just across the campus of Tufts University, which is in the town of Medford. And we are here at the old grist mill that was built in the early 1700s. Actually, it's the oldest stone complex in Massachusetts. And it became a powder house. A powder house is where you store gunpowder. And we're going to read the plaque here, and then I'm going to turn it over to our expert on the militia, the constitutional militias, to talk about the events. This old mill, built by John Mallet on a site purchased in 1703-04, was deeded in 1747 to the province of the Massachusetts Bay in New England, and for many years was used as a public powder house. On September 1st, 1774, General Gage, he was the royal governor of Massachusetts, seized the 250 half barrels of gunpowder stored within it and thereby provoked the Great Assembly the following day on Cambridge Common, the first occasion on which our patriotic forefathers met in arms to oppose the tyranny of King George III in 1775. It became the magazine of the American Army besieging Boston. And I'm going to have Dan.
Did you catch the flag?
Oh yes.
Swing up and catch the flag up top.
There it is, the American flag, where the wind mill used to be, the wind blades. Anyway, Dan McGonigle is the author of "Execute the Laws That Restore the Republic" and would be justified as an expert on the militia and why we need to restore the militia. So Dan, give us a little overview of what happened here. And
Okay. We're talking the period of summer and fall of September of 1774, and at the time, to get a sense of what was going on at the time, the local committees of correspondence were having county conventions. And the first one was in August of 1774 in Worcester County, Massachusetts. And they were promoting a formation of a provincial congress. And
now the provincial congress would be Massachusetts Congress, not a U.S. Congress, yeah.
Massachusetts Bay provincial, 13 colonies were really provinces, and thereby there you get the word provincial,
right,
from province. And the intolerable acts from the spring and summer of 1774, which was a reaction, British Parliament reaction to the Boston Tea Party in December 16, 1773, closed the port of Boston, implemented martial law in the city of Boston, or the town of Boston at that time, and various other tyrannical and usurping powers were being implemented in violation of actually the British Constitution in America. And so we had the Worcester County Convention in August, and this particular event, the powder alarm, was September 1st, 1774, and I'm going to get into that, but September 4th, just the timeline of all the events, and September 4th was the beginning of the First Continental Congress in Philadelphia, where the 13 provinces had sent delegates. So there's a lot going on, and General Gage, who was the commanding general of the entire British Army in America, was also appointed the new governor of Massachusetts. So he was going out and he started confiscating the public stores of powder around the Boston area, and he was successful. I believe it was up in Salem. I believe it was up somewhere up in the North Shore, without going back to my research. But this particular powder house in Somerville, Massachusetts here, there was an alarm that went out and rumors were spread that Boston was being bombed by the British Navy, and that a certain amount of Bostonians had been killed, which was a false rumor, but General Gage did come up here and confiscate, according to this plaque right here, put here in 1892 by the Massachusetts Society of the Sons of the Revolution. It says he confiscated 250 half barrels of gunpowder stores within this building. And, but the rumor of the bombing of Boston, the reaction to that was that militiamen and Minutemen throughout New England started marching towards Boston. And the various, depending on what history or historian you're reading, the numbers varied from 15,000, that may have been Metro Boston area, to upwards of 100,000.
Before the term Metro Boston was used.
Militiamen, yeah. But it was a population center, Boston.
But you think of even 15,000 men that were all armed and had some training, some more than others, answering something and putting their lives on the line, putting their plows, leaving their plows or whatever they were doing,
yeah.
And they had no idea that they would ever come back alive. That was the spirit of liberty that was that flowed through them.
All these Minutemen, they were prepared to defend the public and the people's stores of powder, and they were ready to go to battle. They were ready to go to defend everything with their lives, but it didn't come to that. At that particular time, it didn't come to arms, and it's called the Powder House Alarm.
So tell me why we look at the history of our militia. It's a very proud history, but most people make no connection between what happened 200 years ago to what's happening today. And I know that you and others, and probably more so than before, have advocated the necessity of reestablishing what is called the constitutional militia, to differentiate between a private militia of, I use the term middle-aged white guys running to the woods with their ARs. That's not a militia. We're talking about a militia. So where could people learn more about that?
There's been 10 years of short commentaries published by Dr. Edwin Vieira Jr., the preeminent scholar on this issue of the need to restore the constitutional militia. 10 years of short commentaries, they're free at newswithviews.com.
I'd also recommend just going to YouTube and putting in Dr. Edwin Vieira, and there's all kinds of interviews. Some of them are long speeches he's given, some of them are short interviews.
Many YouTube videos can be found. I have several YouTube videos, and many of which have been produced by yourself, Mr. Hal Shurtleff. And
Camp Constitution is a place you'll find some of the presentations.
Is the YouTube channel.
And your book that you compiled about 3 or 4 years ago, Execute the Laws to Restore the Republic, available on Amazon and campconstitution.net's bookstore.
Yes.
All right, well, folks, thanks for watching, and and by the way, we have a great history, and I would recommend maybe you could find evidences of a militia in your neighborhood.